The late Romantic period, which spanned from 1815 to 1851, saw a few changes compared to its early ages. It was more based on revolution and war. It had greater influences of French Revolution, the Revolution of 1830, and also the Napoleonic Wars. The late Romantics stressed more on individual freedom, the dignity of individual, and strongly criticized the bourgeoisie. Romanticism was more prominent in Germany and Britain. The English Romantics got inspired from their German contemporaries such as Goethe, Schelling, Hegel and Schlegel. Consequently, the second generation of English Romantics developed in England, namely Lord Byron, P.B. Shelley and John Keats. Lord Byron was born to Captain John Byron, who is otherwise known as Mad Jack. He was born with a clubbed foot. He spent his childhood in Aberdeenshire in Scotland. In 1791, after the death of his father, Lord Byron had to inherit the title as the 6th Baron. Byron published 3 major works in 1807: Fugitive Pieces, Poems on Various Occasions, and Hours of Idleness. Hours of Idleness was his first major collection of poems. It was attacked by Henry Brougham in Edinburgh Review. Byron paid back to this attack with his satire, English Bards and Scotch Reviewers. Then comes Childe Harold's Pilgrimage in 1812, which is an account of his travels. Actually, this poem made him famous. As he said, "I awoke one morning and found myself famous." After Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, he wrote 4 Oriental poems in a span of 1 year. Later, in 1816, Byron developed a new friendship with Shelley, and they visited together Château-des-Chalons, located on the bank of Lake Geneva. And there, Byron met François Bonneval, and this Bonneval became the subject of his poem, The Prisoner of Schiller. By 1817, Byron turned to blank verse drama. Heaven and Earth, Sardana Palace, and Cain are some of the plays he has written. In 1821, Byron wrote Don Juan. The story of Don Juan, a libertine who took pride in seducing women. But ironically, Byron's Don Juan was not a man who seduced women, but a man who was seduced by women. Don Juan was dedicated to Southey and Wordsworth, but it was only to mock them. Byron completed 16 cantos of Don Juan, and the 17th one remained unfinished. Don Juan faced much criticism and appreciation. Goethe and Shelley appreciated Byron, and Goethe honored him in the second part of his Faust. Byron was dead in April 1824, and there is an interesting remark on his death by Tennyson. "The whole world darkened to me," he said. He even inscribed "Byron is dead" on a rock in his house. All of Byron's works have a Byronic hero, a typical melancholic figure rejected from society, who has no respect for society and its conventions. The first Byronic hero was Harold from Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. Most of the Byronic heroes were Byronic in nature except François Bonneval. He was not a Byronic hero but a freedom fighter.